Welcome back to Nadine's Kitchen. I'm Kailey Proctor, the Oncology Dietitian at Leonard Cancer Institute. I'm so excited to have Chef Jonathan back in the kitchen with us today to help create high-protein holiday brunch ideas. As mentioned in our second episode, the holidays can be a very stressful time for patients undergoing treatment, whether it's finding high-protein options or navigating common side effects that are on treatment. So I'm so excited that we have him today to discuss healthy, high-protein brunch ideas. Let's get started. Today, we will identify high-protein appetizers to meet cancer patients' increased protein needs while on treatment. We will also discuss strategies on how to get adequate calories when appetite is poor and holiday meals feel overwhelming.
Good morning. It's great to be back here at Leonard Cancer Institute. Today we're going to be cooking up some holiday brunch ideas. First of all, I'm going to start off with an egg bake. It's got plenty of vegetables, cheese, eggs, and so let's go ahead and get started. All right? Along the way, I'm going to also show you a couple tricks that I like. In terms of cracking eggs, this recipe calls for 6 whole eggs and 4 egg whites. So a lot of people struggle with the egg white separation. If I gently crack it and use the shell to separate, it has a magnetic approach to it. It almost grabs the yolk and lets that white go through. So again, crack, open, put my whites in here. It slips right off, and then you take care of the rest of that. So again, we need 4. We'll go ahead and separate, and we're good. One last one. Oops. The other thing is you can pick it right back out. Okay? So we've got 4 of the egg whites. I'm going to crack 6 more whole eggs. You can also use, if you ever get a shell in your egg, the same magnetic property works if you use another shell to get it right back out. A couple more here. And I think that's 6. I've got a couple pieces of shell. So again, you can pull them right back out with using the other piece of the shell. Nice and easy. So in this egg baked dish, I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper with my eggs. I'm also going to use a little bit of oregano and some basil, give it a little bit of flavor. About a half a teaspoon of each. And then I'm just going to whisk this up. What happens is that egg white will make this dish a little bit more light and fluffy. If you use straight eggs, it would be a little bit more dense and heavy. Okay, so that's whisked up. I'm going to set that aside for the moment. And I've prepared a couple veggies for this. The first thing is I've got this muffin pan. I've sprayed it with some spray oil. I'm going to put in some chopped spinach. And I think this recipe will probably fill about 6 of these large muffin cups. You can also use some smaller ones if you don't want something as large, or like a Pyrex ramekin type dish. So I'll fill them up. A little bit of spinach, and I've got some green bell pepper in each of them. Again, make sure you spray that pan, and you've got your oven preheated at 350. Okay? So when you're all set to go, we're going to pop this in the oven for about 30 minutes. I'm going to add a little bit of red bell pepper. Kind of gives it a little holiday festive color. I'm going to top it off with a little bit of feta cheese. And you can put any kind of cheese you like. I just happen to like the feta. Goat cheese would be fine, or Swiss, or even cheddar. So we've got that all with our veggies. I think maybe some tomatoes on top. And I've cut these tomatoes in half. You can do them in quarters. These are little cherry tomatoes.
Hey Chef, what are you cooking?
Hey Kailey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. We're just working on a couple brunch ideas. High in protein, little egg bakes.
Yes, so again, what I love about this recipe is it combines both the yolks and the egg whites. The egg whites are going to be really important for protein. That's where all the protein is found in eggs. And then by adding cheese, you are getting an extra boost of protein. And the cheese is actually going to add a lot of flavor too. So if, again, you're noticing food doesn't taste very good, adding the cheese is going to really boost that up.
Sounds great. So now that I've got the veggies in there, I'm going to just top it off with a little bit of that egg mixture. And you want to not fill them all the way because they are going to grow a little bit. So I'll put a little bit in at first, let it drain down.
And as we've mentioned in previous episodes, again, if you're still struggling to taste your food, you can always top it off with a little bit of salt just to give it a little more flavor.
It's okay if it runs over a little bit, but you fill them, come back and just top them off a little bit, and that should be good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and place this into that preheated oven at 350 for about 30 minutes, and we'll go ahead and do that now. There we go. Great, so these have come out of the oven. They've been in there for about 35 minutes or so at 350. I'm going to go ahead and let them cool off just a little bit, and then using a fork, you can easily just pick them right out. It's kind of like a little egg bake, right?
And what's perfect about these is they're relatively small for a portion size, so if you're struggling with your appetite, it's just not as good as it once was. It's really easy just to kind of nibble at this. One of my biggest philosophies while in treatment is that something is always better than nothing, so even if you're at a large gathering and you're not too hungry, just take a few bites, especially with this recipe. It's really high in both protein and flavor.
Excellent. So on a brunch or a little buffet, kind of set that together, and there you go.
Garnish.
Hey, we're back with our holiday brunch ideas. We're going to do a little fruit and cheese skewer for a little appetizer, part of your brunch, or just an appetizer on itself. I'm going to make first a little bit of yogurt dip with a little sour cream. Real simple. I've got about a half a cup of sour cream. I'm going to add in about twice the amount of just plain Greek yogurt. I'm going to mix that together, like so. I've got a little bit of cinnamon here, just to kind of give it a little festive flavor. All right. And mix that up. And I'm going to pour that right into a little bowl right here that I've got set up with my little platter. And for the fruit and cheese skewers, I've got some bamboo picks here, bamboo toothpicks, and real simply, I've got some cheddar cheese, a little Swiss, some strawberries, and some grapes. I think you were talking about the amount of protein that's in this appetizer.
So this one is very high in protein. Big question I get a lot is the difference between regular yogurt and Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt has almost twice the amount of protein because of how it's strained. So for cancer patients, Greek yogurt is the way to go. And by adding some cinnamon, that spice is going to, again, enhance any flavor. So in case you're experiencing any taste changes, combined with the cheese that you're getting, this is a very high protein but also high calcium brunch idea. As we know, certain chemos can really break down some of the bone density. So again, we're preserving bone density, high protein options, and it's easy just to nibble on if you don't have much of an appetite.
All right. I also brought along some almonds. I know that a lot of times we want to incorporate a little bit more protein as a snack, and they don't go very well on the skewers, so I always have them as a snack on the side.
And you can toss them in yogurt.
There you go. So again, a little bit of cheese, some fruit, and you can dip that in, or you can even take a little spoon and kind of spread it
Drizzle
over the top. So again, that's your holiday brunch ideas. Hope you enjoy. So now that we've got all of our ingredients together for our brunch, I've got the almonds, fruit skewers, and the egg bake, along with some of that yogurt sour cream.
Perfect.
Perfect. Happy holidays.
For more information about oncology nutrition, please visit the following websites: the American Cancer Society, the American Institute for Cancer Research, or the National Cancer Institute. For more information about services provided at Leonard Cancer Institute, please visit the website below or contact me, Kailey Proctor, your oncology dietitian. See you next year!